Good evening, everybody. Well, I'm going to make my kind of spaghetti, or any kind of spaghetti. I like what I like to put in it, I guess, and whatever you have at the house. Well, anyway, I'm going to start with an onion. I'm going to chop it up. Got 3 cloves of garlic. Let me wash it off. And I don't really worry too much about dicing it. Sometimes I do, but I kind of like big pieces. My dad kind of taught me that. I like onions, so I don't need it chopped up real fine or blended up or anything. But what was interesting is I have put blended up carrots and asparagus in a blender and put them in my spaghetti sauce. And it tastes really good. It gives us, I don't know, it's still tomatoey because I put a lot of tomatoey stuff in it. Sometimes I'll put crushed tomatoes and spaghetti sauce. And you can do all kinds of things. I got this Hunt's Garden and Herb, and there's 2 or 3 other different kinds at the store. And I start with that. You got to dress it up a little bit. It's not as tasty. Well, according to me, I guess it's not as tasty as some of the other pasta sauces that you get ready-made and stuff like that. But I like to dress it up a little bit. And so anyway, I'm gonna put onions in there. Let me start cooking them. That might be a good idea. Even though I like raw onions, I thought it'd be neat to try to put raw onions in the spaghetti, you know, put a few cooked ones and then make some raw ones in there. That might be interesting. I like the crunch of raw onions and having them be fresh, and I also like the flavor that they add when they're cooked. Anyway, I'm going to put some olive oil in there. And I got the oven on, or the stove on. I'm probably going to add a little bit of water to it just to get it started with some olive oil. And now I'm going to start on these garlic pieces. You could put more garlic in there if you want. You know, it depends on what you like, how much onion you want in there, or all that good stuff. So I'm just going to put 3 cloves in here because it takes, a while to get them peeled. And ouch. My finger hurts. I keep trying to grab the knife right here and jab down on it, and I'm getting old. And my fingers wore out on that knife. Ouch. Just about any knife, I guess, is made that way. This might be made more for a man, I don't know. Or for cutting steak. I can't remember if it's a steak knife or what kind of knife it is. And here it is. Had it for a while. It's pretty still sharp. I don't bother sharpening it. I don't use it enough to dull it, I guess. And just cut me up some onions and garlic and fruits and vegetables once in a while with it, and sometimes some meat. There's that one. I'm going to try to make this real fast because it takes a long time to upload the videos. In my phone, I don't know how much memory I do know how much memory, but I don't really pay attention to how much it might take up, and it might ruin my phone if I do too much. Anyway, here here's this thing. I like to use this to get the garlic shredded in there, and that way I think I get more garlic flavor. I suppose one could roast it, you know, in the oven, and that would make it completely fall apart. Or if you put it in the pot, eventually it might just all cook up, you know, in the pot. Oop. Ow, it's hot. So I'm gonna put one medium-sized onion to small white onion. Use any kind of onion you want. Depends on what kind of flavor you get out of it, I reckon. Oh, there it goes again. There goes that. I use homemade soap for my, I don't know if you can see where you're not, for my dish soap. I just get these big old bars and make 10 or 11-inch bars of soap, and I get a lot of suds out of them and just use them for dish soap. That way, since I haven't had a car, I can just, because my car's been broke down, I can just, the only thing I have to go to the store for as far as soap goes is shampoo, because I haven't learned to make that right yet. I don't know exactly how to do it, so I still buy shampoo. But I have dish soap, I have bath soap, and I have, thanks to the people on YouTube, and the recipes off the internet, you can look those up too. I mean, it's, you know, I watched a lot of videos before I finally attempted to make the soap. And, whoops, what was that? And I never intended to say that the soapers on YouTube or anywhere else, you know, lie to people or anything like that. It's just, you have to find out for yourself, I guess, when you make soap, what it is that you can do. And, you know, try to make the best soap you can, I guess. But anyway, here's spaghetti. And, I've got the onions and the garlic cooking in the pot here with olive oil and some a little bit of water. I'm going to turn it up and crank it up a little bit to get it more of that. You can really, it smells really garlicky in here, and it smells very oniony. So anyway, I'm going to get this and put it in the garbage. These onion peels and garlic pieces of stuff. I'll put this in the garbage real quick. So how is everybody this evening? I hope everybody's doing all right. I know there's a lot of stress going on, worries about what's going to happen everywhere, and with the election and the COVID and everything, people being out of work, possibly some of them are already homeless. I've met at least 2 guys I saw that are homeless or in need of meals. I have no idea if they're homeless or no. And I gave one $10. So I don't know, you know, I just figure if they buy wine, that's their own business, you know, but the only thing I think about is they're probably wanting food at the very least. And they say that alcohol keeps you warm, so it's none of my business what they do with it, you know. They can do whatever they want to with it. I'm always glad when people help me out. That's how I got to where I'm at. My mom and dad watched my kids when I went to work. And my ex, you know, he watched them some too. And my other ex did too. And so I got a lot of help throughout the years. And my dad, he taught me to go to work when I was 15 and a half, me and my sister. And that's exactly what we did. She's a year younger than me, and so a year later she went to work. And I've been working, you know, ever since. So I have no idea if I was supposed to or not. All I know is that's what I was taught, and that's what I did. And the Bible says, you know, if you don't work, you don't eat. It was in, I think it's Psalms or Proverbs. And but that's saying for a man, so I don't know if that means for a woman. Obviously, women helped out in the household and threshed wheat, you know, back in the Bible times. And the Bible mentions that the women are to be a good wife and is to help around the house and make things financially easier too, by working, I suppose, or by making do with what you got, and all kinds of good things women can do, being crafty, you know, and contributing to the household, plus raising the children and helping raise the children and all that good stuff. Well, anyway, I can't help it. I'm obsessed with the Bible, so I talk about it all the time. It always comes up in my it comes up in my mind, and I think about it. And here I am on videos, putting them on YouTube, and thinking about them and talking out loud about it. But anyway, now, I have no arguments with anybody's type of work. There's women that stay at home and take care of their children, you know. And of course, you know, and taking care of the household. And of course, that's considered work too, you know. So, anyway, here goes the first thing of spaghetti sauce. And for some reason I don't put meat in my spaghetti anymore. I just put whatever I've got. Sometimes I'll put squash and zucchini in there, like in big rings, like they do with that one recipe. I can't remember what it's called now. Ratatouille. Anyway, I put squash and zucchini in there sometimes, especially in the summer or spring. And I get to craving vegetables a lot now, more so than I used to. I used to be more of a big meat eater, and I'd always be one to put meat in there, probably onions, you know. I used to try to get all the spaghetti sauce out of there. And now we got 2 cans of that, and I'm going to put 2 cans of tomatoes in there. Diced tomatoes. Fresh, I'm sure, would be nice. I've even got some sun-dried tomatoes that maybe you ought to put in there. That would really give it a zip. Those are some really flavorful things, those sun-dried tomatoes are. And I usually just add the juice and the tomatoes myself, because I like all the flavor I can get with the tomatoes and everything. Whoops, I already got that one done. We'll pour that in there. So now I've got garlic, onions, 2 cans of that tomato sauce. spaghetti sauce. And now I'm going to put in probably 2 cans of black olives. And I usually just cut them in half. I don't slice them a whole lot unless I'm putting them on enchiladas. Man, that's hard to turn this can opener when you get old. Woo-wee, it's even hard when you're young doing it. Anyway, here we go. Let me get these drained. Now, I'm going to stand here. Oh, let me turn the oven back on, or the stove back on. I'm going to put it on medium. And I'm going to stand here and cut these black olives in half and put them in my spaghetti. I could have put the spices in there too, but I guess I'll just put them in here and let them simmer. To make sure the spices get incorporated into the spaghetti sauce. They gotta get hot, and put out their oils so that they can make the spaghetti sauce more flavorful. But you don't have to. You could just use any spaghetti sauce that you're happy with. And I pre-cooked my noodles. I try to not put it all in the pot because I'm going to be eating on this all week. I try to just cook them till they're al dente and then put them in a bowl like this. And with some olive oil. And that way I just take out the noodles and put them in my bowl. That's how I eat it. And put my spaghetti sauce on top and stir it up a little bit, and I put it in the oven to heat it up. And sometimes I'll put some Parmesan cheese on top, and sometimes I'll put mozzarella and cheddar, and maybe I might put some raw onions on top when it gets done. But I usually end up putting the whole 2 cans of black olives in there. In a minute, I'm going to stop slicing these in half. Well, here's how I do it, see. Well, I mean, everybody knows that. There's 2 hands, so there you go. But, I'm going to stir it up. Here in a minute to see if it looks like I got enough black olives. I don't really go by a recipe or anything. I usually end up putting the whole 2 cans in there. I stir it up, and then if it looks like there's a bunch of them in there, then I'll just go with that. Or if that's all I got, I just put in what I got. Looks like I'm going to use the whole 2 cans. I think I might even have half a can in the refrigerator of black olives from when I had enchiladas the other day, and I probably put the rest of those in here too, because since I don't put much meat in there, and I don't usually put any meat at all. I've not got no meat in here now, and so I'll probably load it up with a bunch of as many vegetables as I can get, and I might even get the blender out tomorrow and blend up the carrots and the asparagus and pour it in there and make my spaghetti sauce even more flavorful. Oh yeah, and I add sugar in my spaghetti sauce. I learned that from a friend of mine, over 20 years ago. It makes it have a little tastier flavor. Sometimes it's real sour, flavor from the tomatoes, and if you add the sugar, it mellows it out a little bit. Okay, let's see what we got. Starts putting the spices in there, and I think we'll go with this for now. I've really gotten attached to black olives and onions, even green peppers in spaghetti, or any kind of pepper, the red bell peppers, or the green peppers, or the yellow ones. Anyway, here's what it looks like right now. I got it on medium. It hasn't started heating up yet. I'm going to turn it up a little higher. Now I'm going to put in some Italian seasoning, and it has marjoram, thyme, rosemary, savory, oregano, no, it's something called savory. Oh, the savory is oregano and basil. So it's marjoram, thyme, rosemary, oregano, and basil. And I'm going to put some of that in there. I'm going to put some parsley in there. And I think I'm going to I got some dried celery flakes. Instead of just celery seeds, I got these dried celery flakes for $1. So I'm going to shake those in there. Let's see if I can show you what they look like. If I can get a picture of them or not. That's how they are. I'm going to stick some of them in there. Give it all the flavor I can. I put quite a bit. I put at least a tablespoon of dried celery flakes in there. And some pepper. I could use that crushing thing, but I think I'll pass on that right now. My arm feels like it's about to fall off when I try to use that thing. I could imagine at the Olive Garden how the girls feel if they do that all day long. Or maybe at least for a year or so, their arms probably get wore out from it. Oh yeah, we might as well put a little bit more olive oil in there. Now, let me stir it up. Now all I got to do is let it cook down. And let the spices cook in there with it. Let it do its thing. Did I tell you I'm going to put some more marjoram in there. I like the flavor of it. They say it's good to put on meat. And I like putting it in my spaghetti sauce. It makes it taste lemony and herby. And since it's going to take a while for this to cook, I'm going to end the video. And maybe I can bring it back when I get it done, because I don't know how to splice the two videos together. Anyway, there's what it looks like now, and it'll have to cook down for a little while. And maybe I'll just go ahead and put it in the bowl and take a... Oh, I forgot. I was going to put... Here's what I was going to do. Put some cream cheese in there. That mellows out the flavor a little. I forgot to put sugar in it. That mellows out the flavor a little bit. This was frozen, so that's why it's kind of falling apart. I'm going to put the whole half a block in there. It gives it a creamy flavor and calms down the tomatoiness if you get a real strong tomatoey spaghetti sauce. or if you make it that way by putting the tomatoes in there and everything. And this makes it calm down a little bit, makes it creamy. And I forgot to put my sugar in there. So let me melt that up, and then I'll put it in a bowl real quick and show you what it looks like. And of course, it's got to cook a little bit longer. Oh yeah, I'm going to put a little shake of salt in there, but just a little bit. I ain't going to put a whole goblet. I'm trying not to put salt in there in much as I used to. I used to put, you know, like teaspoons of it, you know, like a lot. But I don't do that no more. I try to, sometimes I do, but most of the time I try to do without the salt at all. Just go with no salt. They say the salt's in the canned vegetables and the spaghetti sauce already, you know. And they say too, if you salt the noodles, which I did salt them a little bit, that also gives a little flavor to it. So I've been trying not to use very much salt anymore. I used to use more salt when I was younger. This is going to be really creamy. It lightened it up a lot. I'll have to show you in a minute once it gets blended up here. I'm going to put some sugar in there. Now they say with the sugar, if you put too much in there, it can ruin it. And then you'd have to add more spaghetti sauce. So I'm just going to start out with about a tablespoon and then stir it up and then taste it real quick and see if it calms it down to where I like it, and then I'll add more if I want to. That way I don't ruin it, because I have to add more spaghetti sauce or something to it if it gets too sweet. So just put a tablespoon in there. I think it might have even been a little less than a tablespoon, but somewhere around there. You could even start off with a teaspoon at a time, you know, according to your liking of how much you like to put in there. But anyway, I'm no professional cook or anything. This is just how I've learned to do it. Now it looks a lot different. It looks like vodka spaghetti sauce. That would be, oh yeah, that reminds me. Sometimes I put wine in there if I got wine. But I've been saving some of my grapes when I buy grapes at the store. And I put grapes in there. You can put grape juice in it. You can cook the grape juice down with at the beginning and then put it in there. But if you cook it with the onions, it'll turn the onions and garlic purple. But it ain't gonna hurt it none to be purple, because it might turn it purple anyway after you have it in the fridge for a couple of days, or even overnight, you know. And then if you eat it for leftovers, so it'll still soak into the onions probably. But anyway, I'm gonna put it in there now. Mine are frozen, so let me see if I can get them. I'm gonna use a combination of some red grapes and black ones. Let me see if I can get it cut. I usually just cut it in half, like that, and toss it into the spaghetti sauce. And it usually cooks down so much that you know, it doesn't remain a whole grape or a whole half of a grape anymore after it's been in the spaghetti sauce for a while. It cooks all the way down. The only thing you'll have is a little bit of the skin from the grapes, but you know, you got onions in there and tomatoes and garlic. So, and any kind of other vegetable you decide to put in there. Oh yeah, I might put a can of mushrooms in there. Well, anyway, this can also sweeten up your spaghetti sauce, these grapes. So I might have put too much sugar in there. I might have only needed to put these grapes in there. But anyway, so it's good to put the grapes in first and then add sugar after it's cooked a while, just to see if you want to change the flavor or not. You can put grape juice, you can put wine, or just throw frozen grapes or fresh grapes, cut them in half or whatever you want to do, and throw them in there. You can put the whole grape in there if you want to. Then you'd have a big old burst of a sweet grape in your spaghetti sauce. Well, here it is. I think I put about 10 grapes in there. So I'm going to taste it real quick and see what I did with that sugar. But the grapes haven't got cooked down in there, and the spices haven't got cooked down in there yet. It's a little tomatoey. A lot tomatoey, but that's okay. Spaghetti sauce is tomatoey. But I can taste the creaminess of the cream cheese and the sweetness, a little bit of the sugar. But I don't think I've got too much sugar in there because I can still taste the tartness of the tomatoes, and you can't tell the sugar's really in there. So I didn't do too bad. But we'll find out after I cook it for a while and cook the grapes down out of it, and then the sweetness from the grapes I'll add a little more, and we'll find out what it tastes like when it gets done. Anyway, I'm going to throw some in a bowl and take a picture of it, and then bid you guys good night. Oh, let me get my noodles in here. There's my noodles. And now, let me get I'll just use this measuring cup. So I'm going to let it cook down till the grapes get like almost disappear in the spaghetti sauce. And then that's when I know it'll be about done. Or you can cook it all day if you want to, and even add some crushed tomatoes to it, or some more spaghetti sauce, whatever you want to do. You can put meat in there. And let me see here.